Hello everyone, a very good morning to you all. Welcome to NIET Pharmacy Institute, Noida. Today we are organizing a webinar on R&D and innovation training. Our topic is Insights of Research, Writing for Academic Growth and Development. Dear participants, I am very happy to tell you today a very renowned speaker will be with us, Dr. Pratibha Pandey, who is the Assistant Professor at Department of Biotechnology at NIT Greater Noida. Dear participants, every time we actually start our activity with an idea, we transform our idea into research, and from that research, we are able to go for a startup. I'm so happy to tell you that in recent times, we in India, we have seen the number of startup has increased a lot. In 2016, there was only 516 startup, and with passing of time, today in 2022, we have more than 60,000 startups. If I tell you more, our government of India is relentlessly trying their best to inspire the youths and to encourage educational institutions so that they promote for the startups. Right now, India having 75 unicorns and 61 more than 61,000 successful startups. Government of India is trying to encourage educational institutions in three different categories: entrepreneurship, innovation, and research. Government of India formed a different cell under Ministry of Education, which is known as the Innovation Cell. And under Innovation Cell, all the top institutions are encouraged to form their institutions Innovation Council. And I am very happy to inform you all that in our NIT Pharmacy Institute, we also having our one Innovation Council. And under the banner of Innovation Council, we always encourage our students, youths, our all the neighborhood students from around Noida and Delhi here by organizing seminar, webinar, conferences, workshop, and mentor-mentee scheme. And due to that, due to our efforts, our NRF ranking is also increasing. Into 2020, our rank was 49th, and right now our rank is 43rd. If I tell you about AIRA ranking or Atal Innovation, Atal ranking of Institutional Innovation Achievements, we are also coming under the band performer in this year, in last year's results. Our students are also very good in NPTEL courses, and right now 87 students and faculty members got certified in that is last year. Out of that, 59 are allied and 6 got a silver medal. This is the result published by NPTEL. So we have successful in all these various areas, and we are progressing due to the great leadership and great encouragement from our honorable director sir. So to start this event, to inaugurate this event, I like to request our honorable director sir, please to address all of you, and sir, with your blessings, we want to start our this event. Over to you, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, all my beloved delegates and the organizing committee, which is taking care of our institution innovation cell. In fact, this cell was formed to fulfill the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi ji, for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. And to fulfill this particular dream, AICTE or All India Council of Technical Education has taken a very leading role in motivating all the AICTE affiliated institutes to promote the research. Keeping this in mind, our institution Innovation Council has decided to conduct a webinar today on the topic Insight of Research Writing for Academic Growth and Development. This is very much required for not only the students but also the faculty members, because whatever innovative idea they are having, that must be written in the form of a project, that must be written in the form of a paper, so that you are getting the proper recognition across the country. As we know that all the ranking agencies, whether we talk of ARIA, whether we talk of National Institute of Ranking Framework or NIRF, whether we talk of NBA, research has played a predominant role. And We are having amongst us one of our prominent researchers, Dr. Pratibha Pandey, who is an assistant professor of Department of Biotechnology of our engineering institute, that is Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology. I know her personally for the day from the day she had joined our NIET family. Her wonderful approach, her lucid way of writing papers has helped us to bag the Best Researcher Award for the year 2021, which is given by the NIET management. She had published the maximum number of SCI and Scopus Index papers amongst both the engineering as well as pharmacy institute. So I would like to, without taking much of your time, I would like to request Dr. Pratibha Pandey to guide our students and faculty members so that more and more research papers come up. In fact, today I was going through the list of the publications which we have in our pharmacy institute that is very attractive, very lucrative, but we are always having a scope for further improvement. And I feel that all the participants who are whether from NIT or from other academic institutions of the country, I am sure that they will be benefited from the proper guidelines, proper tips which Dr. Pandey will be sharing today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I'd like to share a brief profile of our honorable speaker, and after her introduction, we'll be going to listen a lecture. So, Dr. Pratibha Pandey is an itinerant learner with PhD in bioengineering, that is biotechnology. She completed her MTech in biotechnology, and she also did MBA in HR, and also she is a BTech in biotechnology. She has received silver medal in during her AMPAM work, and she actively involved in research and development in the field of biotechnology and bioengineering. She also has been awarded the best researcher in 2021 by APJ Abdul Kalam Dr. Technical University, and she also has been awarded with Young Scientist Award by Department of Science and Technology, that is Government of India. She has published more than 35 research papers in various international journals, and she has been reviewed several research publications of various reputed journals and editorial board member of various reputed journals. She has more than 6 years of experience in research and teaching, and her research interest relies on cancer biology, water remediation, and also chemo prevention using the natural products via in silico and in vitro techniques. Dr. Pandey also received project grants of 3 lakhs on the project title optimization of the coagulation process using combination of moringa oleifera leaves with aluminum sulfate in water treatment under CRIP program of TEQIP triple I from AK2 Lucknow. She also awarded a research grant of 21 lakhs on the project title elucidation of JAV1 RNAi singlosome in inducing apoptosis by enhancing P27 expressionate gallbladder carcinoma under WSA program. If I tell you more about her achievements, she is the life member of various professional bodies like Indian Science Congress Association in India, Society of Biotechnologists India, and Swadeshi Science Movement. She also received a lots of awards. In 2011, she was certified with BSCL Biotechnology Scientist by Government of India. In 2015, she received the Young Women Scientist WOS again by Government of India, and 2021 she has received the Best Teacher Award by K2 Lucknow. And also I want to add that in recently she also got awarded through our NIT institution because of her great involvement in research and highest number of publications in research. So with a short introduction about ma'am, I like to request Dr. Pratibha Pandey ma'am to address you all to share her lecture. Ma'am, welcome to NIT Pharmacy Institute. A very good morning to you, and we are so happy to listen you. Welcome to you, ma'am. Our team.
Thank you so much, Abhijit sir. First of all, I am highly thankful and obliged to Dr. Avijit Majumdar sir and Dr. Rupa Majumdar ma'am, because since the day I have joined NIT, they both are great inspiration for me, because Dr. Rupa ma'am has been means she is so inspirational for us that she always, motivate each and every student as well as faculty members to constantly do research and, get involved into research. So
Thank you, Pratibha.
so both Dr. Rupa ma'am and Dr. Avijit sir, they are so motivating and inspiring for us. They always motivate us to do, best in our research. So you can say one of the biggest motivating factor is Dr. Avijit ma'am and sir and Dr. Rupa ma'am. So thank you so much for providing this opportunity, ma'am. And I assure that you all will not be disappointed. So if you permit, sir, can I share my slide?
Yes, yes, please, please.
So is it visible, sir?
No, ma'am. Still not. No, ma'am. You have to share. Yes, ma'am. It is visible. Kindly bring it in full screen. I think you have. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
That's right. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So today I'll be starting on the very important topic, you can say research writing, because nowadays even academia, or you can say industry, or you can say any sector, they all are, focusing on research writing, and they are emphasizing constantly. Even our honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, he has also been emphasizing on this research, because somewhere, as Dr. Avijit sir has said, that, research is the only, you can say, biggest factor by which you can go for a startup or entrepreneurship so I believe that, research writing, you can say, that is the you can say one of the biggest pillar if you really want to, get success, or you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want to start your startup. So for all that, you need to have a effective research, capability in yourself. Now it's very easy to, think about anything, but again, simultaneously, it is very important to effectively write your research, because if you won't be able to publish your research, then definitely, your work will not get acknowledged, or you can say you won't be able to leave that impression on others, and you won't get that global recognition. So for that, it is equally very important to do effective research writing. So today I would be I would be doing this to explain that how can you do effective research writing. First of all, I would like to start my lecture with the famous saying of our eminent scientist, that Albert Einstein, what he said, that if we knew what we were doing, then it would not be called research. Definitely, if you know whatever means, if you are trying to establish that fact which you already know, then definitely that would not be a research. So you need to constantly gather new data, new information, or you can say facts for advancement of knowledge, right? So with this famous saying, I would start my lecture today. The outline of my lecture would be what is the significance of research in pharmacy, right? And then next would be what means we would be discussing conceptualization of the steps that are involved in effective research writing. And the last and the important factor is time management, because you all know that time and money, or you can say cost, these two factors are the crucial factors. Wherever sector, in whatever domain you are working, you should learn how to utilize time and how to utilize cost. So we would be discussing on this factor also, so as to complete the whole package. Now, if I talk about research in pharmacy, then definitely I would like to say that research is only that activity which makes pharmacy a science rather than a technical skill. Because as a pharmacist, if you see yourself, then you would say that it is a skill, right? You are a skilled professional. But if you do effective research, then definitely it will make pharmacy a science rather than a technical skill. So research is very important in the domain of pharmacy also. Now, what should be your research goals? Not even means what should be your goals, why you should conduct research, or where are the different domains where you can conduct research. So your goal should be to promote your human health and social well-being. Definitely this is the one of the most important factor where you should focus more, because even in current scenario, you are seeing this, we all are suffering from this, we are facing this crucial pandemic COVID-19, and our pharmacists, our biotechnologists, they all are actively doing immense research in this domain. And with with their help only, we have got this vaccine and all those, treatments that are available to us currently only with the help of their research. So it is very important, to means design your research in order to promote human health and social well-being. And definitely for the advancement of pharmacy practices also, it is equally important. And the third is, if you really want to promote the quality of your institution or your community, right, so it is also equally important to inculcate this research feeling in you, in yourself, as well as your students and everywhere. Then the last is, the most important is to promote your professional development in whatever profession you are going. Either you are working in academics or you are working in corporate, it is very important to have this research capability in yourself. Now, these are the different domains where you can find the significance of research. If I talk about, first, I would be starting with pharmaceutical research. That means, what is this pharmaceutical research? Where you develop new drug. You develop means you elucidate better potent drugs, and you identify you prepare their drug preparation, and you find the administrative method, like whether you would do intravenous or different modes of administration. Although I'm not going detail in this, because today we are having, means our lecture is mainly focused on research writing, but this is just a glimpse that where these research, how this research is significant in different domains. So in pharmaceutical, as I said, you mainly deals with the elucidation of new drug as well as drug preparation and their administrative modes. Next come is your clinical pharmacy research. What you do here, now once you have developed the drug, now the important factor comes, you need to evaluate the outcome of the drug therapy, right? Means how that drug is, means effective, how that drug is better than the previous one, or how that drug is beneficial to that particular disease treatment. So this is the clinical aspect of pharmacy research. If I want talk on operational research, then it includes the evaluation of the novel, or you can say existing pharmacy programs and services, right? And the last one is your health sector, you can say, or you can say health means what is the significance of this research in pharmacy research in health or social well-being. So it includes the behavioral and socio-economic research, as I said, cost, as well as what are the maximum benefits. Okay, with the minimum cost, how you can get the maximum, how you can provide the maximum benefit to the patients, that includes the health research. So by this slide, basically I would like to show that how much a pharmacist can do for the society as well as for the humans, right? It can do a lot, because it starts with the discovery of drug and it ends with the maximum benefit of drug to the patients. So these are all the 4 different domains where you all can focus up means wherever domain you have your own area of interest, you should do your research in that domain. So now it's up to you how you means how better you can identify your potential or your area of interest, right? So these are the different sectors where you can go, a pharmacist can go, like many, I think students are also there in this lecture. So I would like to give a brief that you have got a very lucrative research career. You have got means lots of you can say positions in different sectors. Like I start with academia, since I am an academician. So in academia you have ample of growth, you can do best in this. And what I personally believe, that if you are an academician, you should have means a strong research passion. Like I have always seen Dr. Rupa ma'am, she has always been actively involved in studying latest research papers, latest studies. She used to discuss always. So this this is the best quality of a professor, which makes our students also to remain always advanced. They should be aware of what is the recent research that is going on ultimately, because an academician is not the one who always gives lectures and do that cramming and all that. No, what I personally believe, that if you inculcate that strong research feeling in your student, that would be the best academician. And If I talk about in industry, you people have lots of opportunities, including you are involved in planning new therapy development, like in COVID-19. If you can see, lot many pharmaceutical industries, their pharmacists are constantly working to identify new therapeutic developments, and you have the possibility to collaborate with different investigators. Also, you can participate in several administrative and managerial aspects of therapy development. Apart from that, you have means ample of opportunities in CROs, or you can say contract research organizations. This sector is constantly blooming in current scenario. So what, basically you get involved in protocol development, or you can say FDA application, regulatory report preparation, pharmacokinetic sample analysis, and endless scope is there. Similarly, in healthcare, you can be the clinical pharmacy specialist, where actually you prepare impact of this pharmacist activities on patient outcome, how your activities are actually benefiting the patients. And in government sector, you all know, you have means endless opportunities. So being a pharmacist, I think you have a very lucrative research career, and you have endless scope in each and every different sectors. Now, the most important thing is, as I said in all my previous slide, that research has got this benefit. Now, important thing is how to design the research. I know many of our students, they are just getting entered into this domain. So how they should think, how they should create this research, I would be now explaining that. So here, first of all, you should understand that which kind of study, which type of study can lead to research publication. That is very important to identify. It's not right, it's not the thing that you have thought something and it can get published and all that. Specifically in SCI index publications, in that it is not easy. So it is first of all very important to understand the novelty of the study, whether your study is novel or not. If I'm saying that novelty means how your study is different from the existing ones, right? Whatever the existing studies have means proposed or displayed, it's very important that you should be able to establish the fact that how your study would be different from that, and how your study would be would be able to solve the issues that have been displayed by the existing studies. By this way, you can identify novelty. I will tell you also in detail in my coming slides, but this is just a glimpse that means what should be your first thought that should come into your mind when you should go for this research publication, right? And the ultimate and the most crucial factor in this research publication is plagiarism. Plagiarism, that means copied. It should not be a copied content, it should be your own creation. I will be telling you that how to remove this flag, or what is plagiarism. I'll be explaining in detail, but this is just a glimpse. Now, if I say research writing, then research writing includes 4 domains. That is what, why, how, whom. If you are able to answer these 4 questions, now definitely mark me, you all can give best research publications. Always have these 4 factors in your mind whenever you are you start writing a research paper, or even if you are writing a research project also, it is very important to answer these 4 W's. So these 4 W's, they have a very big role, you can say, in research writing, or you can say project writing. So first of all, I would be starting with what is research. Most important is, research is nothing but when you are trying to find something by repeating the existing one. Okay, you are repeating, I can understand, but again you will say, now ma'am, if we are repeating, then where is the novelty? Repeating means you cannot create anything by having a strong background, right? So here repeating means just have that a strong background, and a strong background, for that you need to do the extensive literature review. Now, this extensive literature review means whatever the studies that have been done previously, that you have to focus here, right? And by summarizing those studies, unki summary you have to take, and thereafter you have to recreate your research. So this is your research. That means to seek or to find something with the help of the existing studies. Now, next thing is how to write research paper. First of all, before starting this, I would like to tell you about that what are the different types of research papers, where you can say research article or publications which you can do. One is your research paper, that is your original research article, you can say, your research findings, jo ki aap karte ho, which you identify, that is your research paper. Next is your review paper. Review paper, I think all the students should do in their masters. Specifically, if I'm talking about masters bachelor's, or you can say even BTech program, now our students should, try to get one review article published. It's very easy. In review article, you don't need to innovate something, or you can say you need to invent something. Here what you just have to do, you just have to summarize the research findings of our previously published paper in a chronological order, right? And at the end it should leave a message that what could be the future aspect. Once you have summarized all the study, that should not be the only motive of review paper. The motive should be, once you have summarized, you should be able to tell, okay, if you will go in this chronological order, see, you have a strong you can say you can have a strong direction in this domain, you can move in this domain. So a review article should leave a great message. Like it should be able to display that message, that you what you can do, or what a future researcher can do. So in this way you can get lots of citation and all that. I'll be discussing what is citation, but just understand that what is review article. And then you can write review article also. Apart from that, short communication, letter to editor, these are related to our professors. Once you gain experience in this domain, then several reputed journal, they ask you to give a short communication, or you can say letter to editor. But for our students, these three are the most important one: original research article, review article, and mini review, right? Once you will publish more than 20 papers or 30 papers, then definitely you can have the opportunity of the short communication or letter to editor. But for that you need to gain experience, and you need to publish more and more research articles. So as I said, it is very important to means have the strong background. That have this strong background can only be attained by doing extensive review of literature. How you should do? Now our students mainly got stuck, ma'am, which paper to study. There are thousands, or you can say lakhs or crores of papers are there, right? When you scroll on Google Scholar, you get endless papers. So it is very important that you need to select those specific research paper that are related to your area of interest. I'll show you in the coming slide that how to do that. But before that, just understand what is the purpose of review of literature. Why your professors always used to compel that do extensive review of literature. So what is that? What do you mean by that review of literature? It's very easy to say we just do review of literature, but actually what does it mean? You should know. It means that what you do, you collect the information that is related to that topic. Whatever topic you are going to select, you should collect relevant information of that, right? Means and that should be the recent 10 to 15 years. Don't go beyond that, right? It's not needed, because what if you are writing a review, or if you are writing a research, if you are compelling, if you are trying to find out if you are trying to find out
There might be some glitch, so dear participant, please stay on the line.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Sorry for the disturbance, sir.
No issues, ma'am. Please go ahead.
So it is your like as I said, that first you need to collect information related to that topic, and then next is identify the gap. It's the basic key, or you can say this is the only crucial factor that will help you to get best publication. Or you can say, if you are able to identify then this gap, then definitely you mark my words, your paper will never get rejected. So it's very important to identify the gap. Gap is nothing but what gap, what is there, what is missing, and what new. Like whatever the means other researchers they have published, you always have seen, if you have means gone through research papers, you might have seen there is a conclusion section. So in that, what you should see, the last two lines, they always mention future researchers should focus on this can be done. Select those lines, just target those lines that are there in the conclusion part of the research paper. With that, you would be able to collect the gaps. Collect all the recent 5 years papers, right? This is my trick, what I follow in research writing. Just collect 5 best papers of the recent 5 years. Collect 5 best papers, okay, and try to collect the those concluding lines of the paper. If you are able to understand those, if you have collected good 5 conclusions, you can design a best research paper, as well as you can say project also, with the help of that. So it is very important. This is my trick, what I usually follow to publish any paper, or design any concept, is I always go through the, although I read the whole paper, but while designing my project, or you can say while designing my research paper, I always used to collect for summarize those conclusions. And after summarizing that conclusions, I used to try to establish the correlation between all the conclusions. By that, you would be able to know that, okay, this is the final thing that has been missing in all the 5 papers. Means all the 5 previous researchers, they have been focusing, this can be done, this can be done. So by this way, you can identify the novelty. Now the next step is for you, once you have identified, okay, this would be my future research, or this would be the concept that has been lagging in all the previous researchers, then the next step, what best you can do to address that gap. Best you can do means, what would be your methodology, or what would be your experimentation process by which you can resolve that gap. So this is all about your why you should do your extensive review of literature, or review of literature hota kya hai. That is very important to understand. So it is nothing but to identify the lacunae, or you can say identify the gaps that are being there in those research papers, right? This is very important. Now, if you, whether you are writing a project proposal, or if you are writing a research article, or if you are writing a review paper, if, these means, you can say this flow chart is very important for you to keep in your mind, right? You should have a strong title whenever you are trying to write a research. First of all, frame a good title, and the title should be such that you should be you should be the title should be able to explain whole your research. I will show it, means I will explain you with this example, where you can correlate this. That title should be as effective, because one of the biggest factor of rejection is your title. Why your paper get rejected whenever you submit in a journal is one of the biggest factor is your title. So you should write an effective title that should tell the whole story of your paper. Then comes abstract section, and sequentially keywords, introduction, and all those sector, which I will be explaining in coming slide. So they remember this flowchart. Even if you are starting as a researcher, or if you are writing your first research paper, first have this flowchart in your mind or in your paper, and start moving in this direction only. Then comes, these are the points. As I said, there are n number of papers existing in the Google Scholar. Now you will waste your time, and where you should start and when should you finish, you won't be able to do that. So to remove that, or you can say to solve that puzzle, it is very important to follow these rules. There are certain rules that you should follow, that you should be specific. As I said, don't go beyond 10 years paper, or you can say 15 years paper, right? Don't go beyond that, because it would be of no use. So you should be very specific, and it should be highly correlated to your research domain, and you should be selective. Focus on the recent topics, as well as I said, focus on that conclusion portion of the paper, because that explains the strength, or you can say weakness of the study. So if you will focus on weakness, that would be your idea, that would help you to generate a new idea. And if you will focus on strength, that will help you to get the background. So strength will help you to draw the background, and weakness will help you to get or fetch new idea. So this is very, very important, right? So and then obviously you should focus on the sources of evidences. As I said, don't go on Google, or don't go on any other platform. Focus on authentic platforms like Google Scholar, or you can say PubMed. In this way, don't just randomly select any research article and start writing your paper, because that will not help you, and that will increase your chances of rejection, right? Reference citation is equally very important. And the last is you should avoid plagiarism. Don't copy the data or anything. These are the different resources from where you can get this literature. That is, there are the several electronic databases, like as I said, Google Scholar, PubMed, or there are different n number of resources from where you can get paper. Obviously your professors would definitely help you to have that, but basically remember two sites, or you can say Google Scholar. Always use PubMed. No other source you should scroll for getting paper. So mainly if you are starting as a researcher, then comes journals are there, theses are there that are available online, right? From where you can get, like Shodh Ganga is there, from where you can get various theses that are available on there, and you can get them, you can download them, and you can design your research accordingly. Now, the most important thing is, as I said, you need to be specific. You need to be, you should be able to that. How to stop minimize your time wastage, how you can do that. For that, you need to do extensive literature review. How you can do, as I said, you should focus on this Google Scholar. You should not get paper on from Google or somewhere other, but you should use Google Scholar. That is the authentic platform from where you can get good research articles, right? As I have shown you how to means identify papers, how to do that. As I shown you that here is the space where you should write your keywords. That is very important. Like, yeah, in this screen I have shown when I have means designed my project on gallbladder cancer, for which government has awarded me 21 lakhs. How I have got the idea, I'm just showing you that. I have just pointed three main keywords in which I means was eager to do the research. That was, I wanted to work on gallbladder cancer. So first I have chosen this keyword, and always use plus. Why I am focusing on this plus sign? Because you all know that in computer there is a programming behind that. How this, how your computer or system or these whatever servers are there, how they search, they help, they search with this, they mean sum up all the keywords. So here also we have used this technique, that first write the, means write the different keywords onto which you are focused, and just keep on adding them. Like I was focused on gallbladder cancer, as well as I was focused on identifying that gene which, due to which progression was going on, that was responsible for that gallbladder cancer. So my focus was, second one was biomarker, and third one was natural compound, that which one natural compound would be the best for the treatment of gallbladder cancer. Because mainly I was interested in designing a drug, or you can say identifying a natural compound that can be converted into a better drug in future. Because that was my, you can say in a layman language, if I have to say, that was my concept. So in this manner, identifying those keywords which are coming into your mind, in which direction you want to do the research. So in this manner, I searched, I scrolled, and I find at that time I did not find any paper, related to this. I mean, the biomarker which I was going through. I have studied endless biomarkers, but then I found that JAV1, which was, I think, my research project, which onto which I have got, that JAV1 is the most crucial one that was not elucidated. From that, Eureka came, and I selected that topic, and I got that project. Now, coming to, once you have identified your research, right, title, that okay, here you can see my title. If you can see here, this is one of my research paper that I have published in the year 2020. It is a SCI paper, index paper, with an impact factor of 3. So here you can see the title. It is JAV1 inhibition by methanolic extract leaves in cervical cancer. If you can see in this title, you can get the full story over here. If even if you don't read the whole paper, you can get the story of the whole paper here just by going through the title. What is title? You are trying to inhibit the JAV1 gene. How? By the help of Moringa oleifera leaves extract, right? You have prepared Moringa oleifera leaves extract, and you are trying to inhibit the progression of that oncogene, JAV1 oncogene, right? Which is, or in which cancer you are working? In cervical cancer. So with the help of title only, you can get the clear picture of the whole paper, that okay, we are trying to find out a you can say better therapeutic approach. We are trying to develop approach that can help in finding the better treatment of cervical cancer. So your title and abstract should be, it should be able to explain the purpose as well as the scope of the study. Up, you should write you should, while writing that title, have this in your mind, that your title should be able to explain the whole purpose, or you can say scope of your study. Then second, your abstract should be able to explain the relevance of your study. If you can see the last line of my extract, where I have mentioned that this are experimental findings, it may pave a new way to identify phytocompound for targeting JAV1 in cervical cancer. That means your abstract should be clearly able to establish the relevance of the study, why you are doing the study, and how your study is relevant to the you can say current aspect, how it would be beneficial, or what is the significance, why we should waste our time in studying your paper, or why a journal should publish your paper. So that is very important to identify the relevance of a study. Next is your material and design in abstract section. Generally abstract is only should be written in 150 to 200 words, not more than that. You should always have this in your mind. You should write your abstract only in 150 to 200 words, where you should first start 2 lines with the purpose and scope. Second 2 lines should explain the relevance of the study. Then next coming 3 lines should explain the material, or you can say the design of your research, not in detail, just the 1 or 2 lines should explain that. Just provide that heading, or you can say the means you can say research protocol that you have used. You should just write that. And then in next coming 2 lines should explain what is the key hypothesis of your research. Hypothesis is nothing but what is the thing that you are going to establish. Like in this paper, my hypothesis was to prove that whether JAV1 is whether moringa can inhibit JAV1 expression in cervical cancer. क्या वो कर पाएगा, क्या मोरिंगा ओलिफेरा लीव्स JAV1 के एक्सप्रेशन को कंट्रोल या डाउन रेगुलेट कर पाएंगी. दिस वाज द मेन यू कैन से हाइपोथेसिस ऑफ माय रिसर्च पेपर. सो योर एब्स्ट्रैक्ट शुड have this content hypothesis, and then your abstract last 4 lines should conclude your most significant result. You should not write each and every single detail about your result, but the most significant finding that actually moringa oleifera leaves has means significantly inhibited the JAV1 expression. But you should not explain that how you, that would be dealing in the coming sections. And lastly, you should write a strong future outcome, right? So this is all about your title and abstract, the first step in your flowchart that I have shown ki while you are writing an effective research paper, you should first have a strong title. You should have a first, strong abstract, because if you have made this, then definitely, chances of rejection would get reduced. Because generally editor, or you can say journal editor, they always focus on this title and abstract. If they liked it, then they will send your paper for review. Otherwise, they will resend they will resend the paper to you, right? So because they don't read the whole paper, they just read your title and abstract, right? Whosoever is the chief editor of the journal, that only focus on that. So means make a strong title and abstract by including all these 7 points. Next comes keywords. That plays a very important role, as I shown you in my previous slide, where I was writing all the keyword like JAV1 gallbladder cancer plus this. So if you have just select 5 best keywords of your research paper. You know why? Because like some other if in future someone else is trying to do research, then definitely he or she will cite your paper. How he or she will cite your paper? If you have shown that strong keywords, then definitely what would happen when they will scroll, or then when they will try to find out the paper, or you can say research paper, if you have given them strong keywords, then definitely they would be able to find your paper. Your paper would come first in the Google Scholar, you can say, and your chance of citation is will get increased. Citation means nothing. It is not a big word. It means the other person is referring to you as a source, means for his or her study. He is taking you as a source, right? So it is a very good thing that someone is citing you, someone is including your research as a reference, or you can say as a background for them, right? For them, they are using your research. So this is very important, that you should emphasize, or you should identify strong keywords, right, for writing your papers. So next is your keywords, because this will only attract more readers, and it will only increase your citations. Why citation is important, I will be showing in the last, when I will be explaining that what are the things that you will get after research. Then comes introduction section. Once you have written the title, once you have written a good abstract of 150 words, next step is your introduction. Introduction, how you should start. Generally, it should be only of 1 or 1.5 paper, not more than that. A4 size paper, or you can say it should be only 1 page, right? It should not be more than that. How you should write, it's very important. You cannot write each and everything, right? So you have to do it in a means a particular set of order, right? First you should start that what is known. If I am doing a cervical cancer, then first I will start with the what is cervical cancer. Then I would be explaining what is the background study of work. Since I have explained the oncogene here, so my background would be, I would first explain the I will first write 5 to 6 lines about cervical cancer, and then I will focus on that oncogene onto which I was focusing, or against which I was trying to develop a drug. So first of all, I'll focus on that gene. I'll hardly write 5 to 6 lines about that, because the person, or you can say the researcher, or you can say the student, when he or she is reading the paper, that person should be able to understand what is JAV1. So write in that order. Whatever the words that you have included in your title, na, that all words should be there in your introduction. Otherwise, your introduction will not be, very significant. So I have I have tried to write here what is JAV1, and then the next, I think you can see in my title, I have focused on Moringa oleifera leaves. So the next thing is I would be focusing on what is natural compound. Accordingly, then what are the recent, or you can say relevant last 10 years publications, that have been research that has been done in this domain. I would be including that. And the next fifth point would be, these all should, all 7 points that I have shown, you should only try to write 4 or 5 lines for all, right? So I will be concluding this latest publications of 10 years, and thereafter I would be explaining, okay, what is the benefit, then why you are conducting research. Once I have established that these are the research recent research that have been done, then thereafter I would be explaining that what is the gap statement, as I said earlier, what is missing amongst all 10-year publication, that would write. And obviously, if they have not means find out that and that is not existing, then definitely that would be a novel study. So that would become my novelty. And these last 5, 6, 7 points, this attracts the editor, or you can say these are the key factors which a journal emphasize, by which the journal don't reject your paper. If you are able to establish this gap, if you are able to establish the gap, if you are able to find the novelty, and if you are able to give a strong hypothesis. Hypothesis means your research idea. If you are able to express it in a better manner, then definitely your paper will not get rejected, because the editor only focus on these points. So that is very important. That is your purpose. What is the purpose? And your purpose should be strongly correlated with the background study that has been done earlier. Next section comes is your materials and methods. Basically, here what you write, you will write about what are the things that has to be examined, right? And then comes, now once you have identified that what you want to examine, thereafter how you will examine, what are the details of the reagents, or you can say equipments or suppliers, or who's what, every single minute detail should be included in material and method. Even whatever the reagents you are procuring, you should also give the detailed information about that, from which company you have purchased, from which it is of which state country. It should be included in detail everywhere, because the good reputed journal, or you can say international SCI expanded journal, they always look for every single minute detail, because that why they are asking for this, just to strongly authenticate your study. That shows that you have procured these chemicals, you have done your study. Otherwise what happens, you can copy it from someone else and you can say I have taken this. No, once you have that strong information, that shows the that proves, or you can say that provides a strong support to your research. So this is very important to write down all the details of the reagents or equipments which you are using. And the next one is you should have the enough information to reproduce the experiment. Whenever you are writing a material and method, always cite good research papers in support of that, because it should not be like that I have designed this experiment. Although I have designed, but I have provided a strong support to that. Someone else had in the previous last year, he or she has also done this, but I have done certain modifications in it. As you can see in this material and method, the means picture which I have put here, you can see I have shown here a reference that is 15 reference number. That means I have taken the means reference of this paper and I have included certain modifications into it. But it is not new, or it is, you can't say it is not established in the past year, because then nobody will accept your you can say methodology. So it is very important to cite good references in with respect to your method, whatever you are trying to do. And in material and methodology, the last section is your statistical significance. That is very important. If you are not able to establish the statistical significance of your study, then definitely your study would not be of any use. Statistical significance means, what does it mean? Generally students used to ask me, ma'am, what is this statistical significance? It is as simple that if you are performing an experiment once, then you cannot claim to be the solution of that particular problem. At least you should try to do your experiment 3 times, or you can say 5 times, to claim that okay, this is the research finding. As my paper is saying that JAV1 is inhibited by Moringa oleifera leaves. How I claimed? I claimed it by I performed all the experiments minimum 3 times just to claim that. By that we do not used to do that t-test, or there are several statistical tests are there by which you perform, you conduct that. Once you get the data, once you repeated the experiment 3 times or 5 times, minimum 3 times you should repeat that experiment. You should not claim, you should not write your research just by performing it once. Okay. Otherwise no good papers will take your research. It's not good. And many times I think you might have seen in the research paper, there is a graph, or you can say there is a bar over there. That bar tells you that what is the standard error mean, or you can say what are the, how many times you have repeated the experiment. That is when you say that n is equals to 1 and so on. This will means I'll explain later. If you wish, I can do that, but it is again a different domain. But you should focus on that, a statistical significance. That is very important in methodology section. Then the next section that comes in your research paper is your results. It is very important to this is, you can say, heart of the paper, because ultimately, although the editor is not going to see in all the details of results and all that, but the future researcher who would be citing your paper, who would be taking you as a reference, that will mainly focus on your results. As I have shown you here, only one of my result over here, you can see, you should first write a means significant title, right? That should be you should summarize your results under several headings. There should be different headings, and it should be in the sequential manner. It should not be like that first you have shown that okay, JAV1 gene is inhibited, and the last you are showing that okay, this is the you can say extract we have obtained and all that. So it should be done in a sequential manner. Like I have started with what is the effect of this Moringa oleifera extract on normal cell, because whenever you are trying to develop a drug, you all are pharmacists, so whenever you are trying to develop a drug or find a drug, pehle to you need to see that whether it is not harming the normal cell. It is very important. So I have started my result writing my research finding with this particular first step is whether it is harming any normal cells or not. Once I was able to establish that it did not harm the normal cells, thereafter I moved further to show other my research findings. So that gives a strong, you can say strong impact of your research. That tells ki how significant your research is. So it is very important to explain the findings in a sequential manner. It should be written in the past tense. It is very important. No present tense, or you can say future tense should be used over here. And you should not interpret the result, because that would be concluded in the next part, other discussion. If you will write the interpretation, then you won't have anything to write in the discussion part. It will be repeated again. Your editor will reject your paper. Many papers are rejected because of this also. What they do the interpretation of result in this section, and they have nothing to write in discussion section. And if they write, that becomes the repetition. So it is very important that you should not interpret your result in results, right? You should only present your finding. Upon treatment, we have seen there is a decrease in JAV1 expression. That's it. You need not to interpret. Then comes tables and figures. You should be able to, you should present 300 DPI paper. Pixel is very important. Many journals used to reject your paper because of the poor quality of figures, or you can say tables. So formatting is very important. You should focus on that. Figures, it should be minimum 300 DPI is asked by all the journals. There are different softwares that are available online. You can go through that, right? To check the quality of the image. On many journals they have services for that, you need to pay, but I don't believe you should go for that. Instead, there are different softwares that are available by which you can check the DPI of your image, which as per the requirement of the journal. And the last and important thing, it should be clear and simple. It should not be written in a very hi-fi language. It is not needed. It should be very clear and it should be very simple, because you don't know what is the level of proficiency of your future reader who is going to read your paper. It is not only mandate for that those only readers who are very proficient in English, it is also equally important for the other groups also who are not that much proficient. So it should be clear and it should be simple, so that your citation chances become higher. Now the next section, as I said, once you have included all the results findings, next important thing is discussion. Discussion means interpretation of your result. Like I said it did not affect the normal cell. Now I need to interpret the finding ki, okay, if it did not affect the normal cell, then what is the use, kya fayda, kya kehna chahte hain, what you want to say because of this. I have to write those lines in discussion, that if it is not affecting the normal cell, it can be a good future, it can be a potent drug in future. So this is the supporting line which you write in support of your result finding. Whatever you are finding the result, it is very important now to claim ki, okay, I found this result, fayda kya hai iska, what is the benefit. So that benefit should be included in the discussion section. Then obviously in discussion you always have to write that how your result is different from the previous one, right? Because while writing the result section, you have not mentioned anywhere ki I have found this, this was better than the previous one. No, you should write in this section. Like I said, it did not affect the normal cell. I have to write that earlier whatever the previous researchers have shown, it is better than that. Minimum toxicity is there, or you can say there are n number of things in jest, or you can say summary is that you should validate your result finding, that how your finding is beneficial, or what is the significance of your result, kya significance hai, that should be in the discussion section. And the next is your what is the theoretical, or you can say clinical implication of your research. As you all are pharmacists, you should strongly display. As I wrote this paper, this is also about what I am focusing on, that future researcher can use moringa oleifera leaves extract for making drug, or they can use with along with chemotherapy or other treatments available for cancer. They can use this also combinatorial, they can go for that. There are a number of future aspects are there. So you should be able to establish this clinical implications in your paper. And the last is your but simultaneously you should also include some limitation of your study. Limitation means you should not tell negative about your study. It is, although we have explored this, but in future this can be explored. So by giving this limitation, you would be able to write the implication of your future study, or you can say the for future researchers can find out something novel from your study. Then only they will cite your paper, otherwise your paper will not be cited. And if your paper will not be cited, that means you are not getting global recognition. That is very important to have good citations. And for that good citations, you should focus on these last 5-6 points of discussion section, that what is the implication of your research, how they can implicate or how they can use your research. And one of the major rejection of your research paper is, always I have seen many of the student, or you can say many of the people, what they do, researcher, they write the same abstract in the conclusion also. No, you should not do that. Because why? There is a big difference between abstract and conclusion. Abstract is nothing but it is the claim of your proposed work. What you are you are just claiming that okay, moringa leaf can down regulate the JAV1 gene. But here what in conclusion you give the proof. Here you claim, but in conclusion you strongly say that okay, fine, my research findings have included this, that JAV1 can be down regulated by the use of this gene. So this is the difference between abstract and conclusion. Abstract is nothing but the short summary of the work, where you can say conclusion is where you your readers apply the new acquired insight, or your reader should be able to find out okay, what is the novelty or what is the new recent findings that are there. In abstract, the reader is not going to find out that novelty, or you can say that a clear you can say detailed insight of your paper. But yes, your detailed insight of your research finding, that can only be seen in conclusion. That's why I said editor focus on title, abstract and conclusion, nothing else. Editor in chief, the first you can say step of your paper rejection, or you can say the first person who is accountable for this is editor in chief. वो ही आपका यहाँ से reject कर देता है paper because of these lacunae. So focus on these, and definitely if you will focus on that these points, then your paper won't get rejected. Here I have shown you difference between abstract and conclusion. Mainly, I don't want to read each and every single line. If you can see here what I have written, abstract last line, our experimental finding may pave a potent phytocompound. Whatever experiment means whatever research I am going to do, it may provide you a novel phytocompound for this targeting this JAV1 gene in cervical cancer. But in conclusion, what I have written these experimental finding elucidated a potent targeted therapeutic approach. Here I have given my claim, or I have validated my point that by this study, my experimental findings, it has proven that JAV1 can be considered as a good target for this treatment or for finding a better therapeutic approach for cervical cancer management. So, and the last section of your paper is, after writing each and every sections, the last section is acknowledgement. You should acknowledge both, because this is highly needed by the journal. This is the requirement of the journal. This I have not written because of my college or something. No, this is the requirement of the journal. You should focus on acknowledgement. You should acknowledge your institute. Like I have got the grant from AKTU for doing this research, so I have acknowledged Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, as well as NIT has given me all the facility to perform this research, so I have given that. And yes, conflict of interest. Conflict of interest means all the researchers who are involved in your paper, they have given their full consent to publish the paper. Otherwise, what will happen if you will not give this conflict of interest? Then in future, might someone from your group may raise a conflict that, no, my name was dragged, I have not done anything, I was not involved in this research. So that's why journal always ask you to write this conflict of research, that this work has not been published anywhere. This means we all are giving our consent for publishing this paper. So this is very important. And lastly, if you have received any funding, then you should mention that funding. If you have not, then it's fine. You can write not applicable. It is not mandatory to have that funding. Yeah, there are, I have published lot many papers without any funding, but if you have that, you should write this in detail, otherwise not applicable. Now, the next important is how to do the reference citation, how to cite the reference. That is very important. How you do that in Google Scholar, as I said, when you will find out my paper now, you will get these two quotes. So when you will click on these two quotes, you will get all the reference style. Generally, journal used to ask APA style of references, but there are n number of styles are there. Vancouver, Harvard, MLA. Okay, whatever format the journal is asking, you can copy the format from here and just paste it on your Word file and do your reference section. By this way, what happens? It will help you to arrange the references in the proper format. Although some journals have their other format also, not needed ki they will always ask you to have the only in this format, they can have, but this is the easiest way. There are different software also by which you can arrange the formatting style, but it is the beginners, it is for beginners. So you can say, even I know all the softwares, but still I used to prefer this method, because by this I used to scroll new papers and I used to collect them while selecting these papers. So you can get the APA format from here, copy it down, just copy this and paste it in your Word file. How to cite? There are n number of ways by which the journal asks. It is strictly dependent on the choice of journal, how the journal is asking you to cite the paper. Cite the paper means how they are taking you as a reference. Like some journals, they ask you to write the name of the first author, put et al, and then write the paper. Some ask you to put the numbers here, and in the last section of your paper where you are putting all the references, you just arrange them in a numerical order and write the numbers over here only in the main body of the research paper. So these are it mainly depends on the journal requirement, right? These are the different referencing tools. Ek to method that I have explained you earlier, but this is also, these are the different tools, referencing tools by which you can arrange your references, right? You don't have to do one by one. You just put every references over here, and it will accordingly format your references in that manner. So you have both the option. Either you can go on Google Scholar and click on those two quotes, paragraphs, and you can get the reference over there. Otherwise, you can have these softwares by which you can do the formatting. It depends on you which method you want to follow. And the last important thing is plagiarism. That is very important. Plagiarism means you are not copying or presenting another work. You should not do. Mainly what I follow whenever I am writing a line, I used to collect that lines from other papers. I used to read them, and I used to convert them in my way. One of the way is to you can use different synonyms. You can find synonyms of different word, but keep in mind that whenever you are selecting any synonym, it should be technical. You are not only focusing on English language only plain. You are doing here scientific writing. There is a difference between scientific writing and English writing. Certain words, they are not applicable in scientific writing. They are good in English, but they cannot be implemented over here. So it is very important while selecting the synonym. If you are trying to reframe a line, and if you are just changing the synonym, keep it in mind that you should use scientific or technical word to replace that particular word in order to avoid the plagiarism. So you can avoid plagiarism by selecting better synonyms, or you can say by reading lot of paper, by collecting good review of literature, by doing that, and then collect that and re-summarize, or you can say reframe those lines if you're writing a review. Because in research, you don't need to reframe anything, because that is novel, that has not been done earlier. But if you are writing a review, try to collect 2-3 paragraphs of good paper, and then try to re-summarize it or reframe it, right, by using proper synonyms, or you can say by you can say merging all the data together. If you are selecting if you have selected 3 paragraphs, try to get the best lines of that, try to sum up that, and replace those words with good scientific synonyms, and do your paper. It will definitely help you to remove your flag. Then comes, there are softwares that are freely available. That is, here is one, Grammarly. Although if you are using the free service of Grammarly, then you can check only 1,000 words per 1,000 words at once, right? If you are using the paid service, then you can check any number of words. But if you are not having that access, don't stop yourself. Just click on this Grammarly. I have provided the link here also. If you will click here, you can get access to check up to 1,000 words at once, right? This is a software that is available in both mode, free also, and the only limitation of having this using this free software is that you can only check 1,000 words at once. Then in NIT, we are having this Authenticate software. We are blessed enough. Our institute provide this the most powerful, you can say, plagiarism detection software is Authenticate, where you just need to submit your paper, and your supervisor would provide you the plagiarism report. It is the one of the most authentic software that has been asked by you can say that has been referred by all the journals. They used to follow the Authenticate only to check your plagiarism, or Grammarly. So you can use both. But for Authenticate, you need to have subscription. Your institute will provide you that. Else Grammarly is also one of the best software, plagiarism software, which you all can use. The only limitation is that you write first 1,000 words, you check that, and thereafter you write. So accordingly, you have both the options. This is just a pictorial representation. When you check your paper, like I have written a paper, and when I checked it with Authenticate, it is showing 5% plagiarism. That means generally all the journals, they used to avoid, means they give you a freedom, or you can say liberty, that 10% plagiarism may be accepted. So if I'm having 5% plag, I can remove easily this 5%, or even if I will not remove, then also journal will not reject my paper, because they have that guideline that they can accept 10% plag or 5% plag. So you have to go through the guidelines of the journal strictly. Generally try to write a 0% plag paper. So these are the different sources from which it was showing plagiarism in my paper. I was having only 5% plag, so I just gone through those lines and I removed that. So this is just a pictorial representation that how you get your plag report in this manner. Now the next important thing is selection of right journal. That is very important, because what will happen if you publish your paper in any other non-reputed journal? What will happen? Your data will get wasted also, and you will not gain any global recognition also. So there are mainly two types of journal. One is open access and closed access. For open access, you need to do payment, and for closed access, you don't need to do publication fees. Abhijit sir, is there any time, or should I sum up my thesis?
Yes, ma'am. You may continue, ma'am. Please. We have time.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. So here, first of all, you need to select this, whether means in which mode you are going through. Open access, you need to pay the publication fees. And for students, even for professors, I never recommend this open access journal until and unless you have your own funding, right? Then you should prefer this subscription based mode. In that, you don't need to pay any fees, right? And your paper will get published. But the only thing is that it will only be accepted if you have written it in a very highly scientific manner. Then mainly the journals hai onto which you have to focus is SCI Scopus Index journals. Many of the institutes, they prefer UGC, but in our NIT, or you can say even at the international level, global level, you need to only focus on SCI or Scopus Index journals, right? So how you can get SCI index journal? Also SCI every year provides a list of that journal. But even if you don't have that list, then you can check with this site that what are the SCI index journals. Suppose if you are reading a paper of any particular journal, right? So first of all, it's your responsibility to check whether the paper which you are reading, which we are going to do that review of literature, you should first check it out that whether it is SCI indexed or not. How you can check? You can use this site, that is mglclarivate.com. You can use it. When you will click on that, in this way you will get the picture. You can just write the name of your journal. Like I have published my paper in nutrition and cancer. You just need to write this and then search journal. When you will click on this, you will see the whole data. It is what? It is SCI expanded. Just go through this line. It is very important. If it is showing SCI expanded, then it is fine. Otherwise, if it is not showing SCI expanded, don't publish your data in that journal. So it is very important that you need to find out that whether the journal which you are targeting is SCI expanded or not. As I said, it is okay, it is mandatory to publish in SCI index journal, but there is equally important is means it is also very important, or you can say it has also strong global recognition, is a Scopus index journal. This is the link by which you can get the Scopus index journal. I'll be sharing this PPT with Abhijit sir, and if you want to share it with your students, you can share it, sir. So this is the link by which you can get Scopus index journals. In this way, when you will write the title of your journal, then you can clearly see that this paper, when you can get this result, if it is showing one result, then definitely this journal is currently indexed as in Scopus. Like when you buy anything, you always see na, this has got recognition or not. Similarly, whenever you are trying to find out a journal, it is very important to find out that recognition. Like when you say na, it is ISO certified or not. Similarly here we say, in the place of ISO we say, is it Scopus or SCI? It is same like ISO, where you use that. So here we use that, whether it is, if it is, fine. Otherwise don't publish your paper. So this is now, once you have find that okay, these are the journals, that how you means this in my previous slide I have shown how to find out whether that journal is SCI or a Scopus. Now the next important thing, student will say, ma'am, how I will how I should target the journal, what is the best way? So there are good publishers are there, like Wiley, Elsevier, or you can say there are a number of good publishers are there, Bentham, in which you can find out suitable journals for yourself without the help of your supervisors. I can tell you can do this, and then you can show it to your supervisor ki fine ma'am, I have sorted out these journal. Now you tell me in which journal should I proceed. How you can find out? Once you have prepared your title, and once you have prepared your 150 word abstract, you just need to paste it over here. If you will click here find, then this journal finder will automatically tell you, okay, these are the relevant journal, or you can say which have the strong chances of acceptance, right? That will have a strong chances of acceptance, your paper will not get rejected. So because here the publisher itself is providing you that hint. So this is one of the way by which you can identify different journals for submitting your research article. And then Springer, this is also one of the best you can say publisher. So you can also find this. They have also their specific journal suggester link I have shared here. You can just similarly write your title and abstract, and you can get what it will do. These you can say suggester or finders, they will help you to minimize the chances of rejection. So this is very important to find out this. First you find out the relevant journal, and then start writing your research paper as per the format of the journal. So this will help you to minimize your time wastage as well as your rejection rate. Because what happens, first we write the paper and then we start searching the journal. That is not the right approach. What I personally believe, that just frame your title and frame your abstract. Don't write the whole paper once, just frame that and then try to put your this title and abstract in this journal finder or suggester. Find out the best journal that suits you. Okay, that suits you means your research. It will provide you a number of lists. Select that journal, go through the format, go through the submission guidelines, and then start writing your paper accordingly. So ये आपका time wastage बहुत बचाता है. Otherwise क्या होता है, first we start writing the paper and then we start changing the format of the paper. So this will waste your time. This is how you can manage your time. Now here I have shown you the picture of one journal, that is Nutrition and Cancer, in which I have published the paper. When I published in 2019, it was 2.36 impact factor. This is the homepage of the journal. Now what you have to do, basically, when you click on that, you need to focus on this aims and scope, or you can say instructions for authors. You will be going to future author. You need to read each and every single detail. As I said, when you will find the potent journal before writing the whole paper, this will help you to write in a formatted way. Okay, this will help, this will reduce your time wastage, right? Word limit, what is the word, this is the strict guidelines which a journal, if you will not follow these guidelines, then there are means you can understand that your paper will get rejected if you will not go through these guidelines in a proper manner. This is the pictorial representation, that how you, once you have selected your journal, there is an option that submit an article. You should go to the submission site, and first what you will do, you will sign up or you will make your own account. That is, you use your email address, or here if you have your account, then perfectly fine. But if you are new, or if you are the first user, if you are firstly submitting your manuscript to this journal, you should use this sign up. Create your account. This is the way. Once you have created the account, then the things come is your submission creation. Submission creation means what type of article it is. As I have shown in my first slide, that these are the different articles, under which you can submit your manuscript. If you are submitting original article, select one, then start, and thereafter once you will click on this start button, thereafter you will have to follow these 4 steps. Upload your manuscript, and you can do your submission. So this is just a pictorial representation, that how you means do the submission, how you should, because it is very easy to select the journal. Okay, apne journal finder se you have selected the journal, you have written the paper as per the guidelines, but the most important is how to publish, how to make that account. So in this manner you can create the account on any journal. Every journal has got the same step, but only you can say they may have the different formatting, right? So you have to focus on that. This is just a pictorial representation. Now the next important thing is, as I said, what is the use of this doing research, or kyun kare hum, why we should go for research publication. I would like to tell that research is the you can say it is the biggest thing for academician, as well as for, even if you are going in an industry, you have ample of a scope over there, right? Because every industry or every research institute, they are demanding you to get grants from Government of India. Even if you are working in industry will ask you to write a proposal, so that they can get good you can say grant from their clients. So it is equally important, and you can only do this by writing effectively, as I explained you earlier. So this is the first and important thing, is by doing good research, you can gain global recognition. As I said, recently, I would like to share one experience, that recently I have been approached by an university in Turkey. They have approached me for, supervising the thesis, checking the thesis of PhD student. How they selected me. I got the mail, and they have selected me only because I have published so many papers in Moringa oleifera. So they have written the mail that on the basis of your expertise, on the basis of your paper on publications, we are providing you this opportunity. So I have supervised till date, I have supervised 3 theses. I have checked their thesis and evaluated them just on the basis of this publications. I have not applied there, I have not visited there, but they are seeing my profile. So this is the important thing which I would like to add it to you all. Even student, as a faculty, you will get loads of global recognition. So this is my Google Scholar profile. You all can have your Google Scholar profile if you publish good papers. Like this H index plays a very important role. Currently, I'm having the H index of 10, just after having the 6 years of experience. So this is the way how you can get, and anyone can see your this profile. You know, whenever you are applying for any research position in any academia or in any good universities, even if you are planning to move abroad, you know, you should provide this Google Scholar link. They will click on it and they will find out that how many papers you have published or what is your research index. So this way, this is the way. I have not created it. This is the, this is the benefit, or you can say significance of research, that you get global recognition. This is the ORCID account which you all should have. If you are starting as a researcher, make your ORCID account, because again, it is also a platform by which other institutes or wherever the companies, wherever you are applying, they will check your credentials by this. So you need to have an ORCID account. Many of the journals now, they ask this ORCID number. This is my ORCID ID. You all should have your ORCID ID before publishing any paper. This leaves a good impact. This leaves your, this validate the authenticity of your research. So make that ORCID account before submitting any research paper. This is the Publons. Again, global recognition. As I said, this academia and these industries, they, check your profile. They can check your profile and they can tell what is the index you are having. This is the research gate, by which again, lot many professors, lot many universities, they used to find out your credentials, and accordingly they can offer you several positions, right? So these are this is the way by which your selection rate will get increased, or you can say this is the by doing means significant research, you have strong chances of acceptance everywhere. Whenever you will apply, you will get a good chance of acceptance. These are the grants. There are different agencies that provides you grants, including DST, Department of Science and Technology. For women's, I would like to say they should apply for this Women Scientist Scholarship. In this, you will get 50,000 scholarship monthly. I was blessed enough to get this project where I have got this. I was getting 50,000 fellowship per month for doing my research, as well as I was getting a lot of funds for my travel, as well as for procuring my reagents and all that. So it would be a good just how you can do. I have done nothing. I have just written a research proposal. Simple research proposal can give you 22 lakhs from Government of India, as well as 50,000 scholarship is enough for a student. So I think female candidates, or even young female professors who are there, who are 27 years of age, they should write a strong proposal. They should start writing. You don't need to pay anything to submit this research. Yeah, this is free of cost, and it is available throughout the year. You don't need to pay anything. You don't need to wait for when it will open. It is available throughout the year. You can submit your research anytime. It is free of cost. And one of the best thing is that even if you are rejected once, you can again apply for it. Again, there is no limits, all that. So it is very good portal. You can choose for that. Then obviously APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University also provide that. Here I have just shown a glimpse that whatever the research grants I have got. Then fortunately, with the blessings of God, and obviously the eminent people or dignitaries of NIET, they have helped me to get this recognition this year because of research only. So truly, I would like to thank you all for patiently bearing me, as well as listening my lecture. And I would like to thank Majumdar sir for providing me this opportunity. Thank you, Abhijit sir, also for arranging this lecture. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your great lecture. It's a really inspiring, and you have covered almost everything for young faculty members, for our young students, teachers, for everyone. This is really a what I can say. So very everyone, I think, got huge inspiration through this lecture, and everything you have covered, and maximum of the things you have cleared. So thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, with your permission, can I take few questions from students?
Yeah, sure, sir. You can.
Okay. So we are proceeding for the question answer session. So ma'am, during the registration, we have asked our students and the participants if they have any question they can write. So ma'am, one question from Samiksha Sayankar from NIT Pharmacy Institute, that what is the minimum qualification criteria required to get into the field of research and development?
Minimum criteria is you need to be a graduate student, right? Even if you are doing your graduation, from that point you should start your research. So there is no means you can only do research in means when you are you have gained experience and all that. You can start when you are a graduate student. In your first year also you can start your research. So there is no minimum age as such criteria. So start from that. When you are starting B Pharma first year, just start doing research and development, and then only you can get good recognition in your coming years. वे कहते हैं ना, पहले आप बहुत जल्दी अचीव कर लेंगे. You will be the young achiever if you will start at the right time. So that would be the right time when you enter into your B Pharma first year. Start doing research.
Great, great. I hope they will do something really great. Then, ma'am, another question is from Kanchan Upriti. She's asking, what are the major tools for writing research? I think you have already covered.
Yeah, I have covered, sir. These the tools that I have covered.
Yes, ma'am. Another
I
question
will
is.
share you the PPT also, sir. You can share with your students as well
Yes,
as
ma'am.
anyone you want, sir.
Yes, ma'am. During the certificate distribution, you will share your PPT
Yeah,
also.
I will share, sir. I will share it.
Yes, ma'am. Sanjay Kumar Jadhav is a faculty at NIET Pharmacy Institute. He's asking, what are the consideration criterion for review article?
2 points. As I have focused means explained in my lecture. First, you need to chronologically arrange your review article, and it should be the whatever the title or the topic you are selecting. First of all, find out that it should be means the work that has been done in last 5 years. For review writing, I don't even prefer 10 years. I prefer only focus on last 5 years paper and try to find out that what are the recent reviews that has been done related to your area of interest, and then just chronologically arrange those 5 years paper. Trust me, your paper will not get rejected. Recently I have published a review article of 3.4 impact factor, and I have done nothing. I have just gone through 5 years paper and I have just summarized it in a chronological manner. And yes, one most important thing is, whenever you are writing a review article, just try to find out the recent paper of related to that topic, because you have to somehow incorporate in your review paper that how your review would be help the researchers to develop a new research. Okay, how it will help you to it will help them to get a good direction. So it is very important to include a last recent paper as well as 5 years paper. Only select them and just write down. It will not get rejected. Sir, you are muted, Abhijit sir.
Yes, ma'am. Another question is from Dr. Monica. In our writings, we have to modify our standard operating procedure to remove plagiarism. How we can prove our research novelty by flag removal?
This is I explained in my lecture also, that how you can improve your research novelty by this flag removal. Basically, there are two questions in this. Once I have explained earlier also that novelty is something different. Novelty, why flag comes? Because we are not able to find out the novelty. That's why flag always comes. And for novelty, as I said, just try to focus on the conclusion section of last 5 years paper. If you are chronologically arrange those conclusion, right, you would be able to design a flag free research, or you would be able to design that novelty. So it is very important to focus on that.
Right, ma'am. Another question is from Dr. Chitra Gupta. Can you suggest some free softwares for editing figures?
Yeah, there is a software you can use. Irfan I'll share you in the PPT, sir. If you want, I can share you a glimpse in PPT. I will add that slide. Right, sir? I will put the image as well as the link from where you can download those softwares. Right, sir?
Yes, ma'am. There is, yeah, ma'am. Another question. Yeah, I think all the questions you have covered. Participants, if you have any other questions, you can write us. We will take your question to the to ma'am through mail. And now we will move forward for the vote of thanks. I like to request our honorable convener of IIC at NIT Pharmacy Institute, Dr. Rajnish Kumar sir, to give the vote of thanks. So, Dr. Rajnish sir, if you are here, please you may. I think sir is muted. And today is also the birthday of our Rajnish sir. So, happy birthday to you, sir.
Sir.
I think there might be some glitch. His audio is not connecting actually.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Pratibha, ma'am, for your wishes on my birthday, and thank you, Abhijit, also. So,
Sir, please put your camera on if possible. Or
I have on my camera.
okay,
Camera
okay,
is on.
okay,
So,
right.
okay. So, in the last 1 hour, a lot have been discussed about the research. So, being a part of pharmacy profession, we all aware that research is a very important for advancement of pharmacy practice, and at the same time, we are witnessing that whole world is eagerly waiting for the COVID vaccine from the researchers. Okay, so research strengthen the pharmacy provided services, build the evidence base for the yes. Anything? Abhijit, you are saying something?
No, no, sir, continue, please.
Okay, so I would like to say that in the last lecture, everyone is saying that the world is waiting for the COVID vaccine and from the researchers. So we can assume that research strengthen the pharmacy provided services, build the evidence base for the developing and generating new services in pharmaceutical industry. It can also improve the patient care by new technology. So in the last 1 hour, Dr. Pratibha nicely explained that how it is important for pharmacy professional and also provided valuable information on writing each component of the research paper, right from the introduction up to the conclusion and the reference part. Except that he also focused on various aspects which are very, very important when we are submitting our research paper, like the collection of the right journals for submitting our paper, then how to remove the plagiarism. So these are all aspects of a particular research paper have been discussed by the Dr. Pratibha ma'am. So on behalf of NIT Pharmacy Institute, I would like to give a really heartfelt vote of thanks to Dr. Pratibha Pandey ma'am, who has spent his busiest time to grace this occasion. Today we have the opportunity to hear you thoughts and experience. This is definitely encouraging many of the faculty members in between us, as well as the students of our institute and other institutes also. So the information provided by you have enlightened our mind and shown us a new path in research. So I request all of the pharmacy students and the faculty members who have just joined the field of teaching. Research is very, very important, and uh, you can collect the PPTs as Pratibha ma'am have promised from the Abhijit if you feel any difficulty or any confusion. So once again, thank you to Dr. Pratibha for gracing this occasion and sharing your experience today. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
And a special mention to our director, Dr. Avijit Majumdar sir, for being the catalyst that inspired all of us to do our best and stand as a pillar of pharmacy education in the Greater Noida region, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Sir. With a deep sense of appreciation, I would also thank our respected Dean ma'am, Dr. Rupa Majumdar ma'am, for her continuous motivation. Thank you, ma'am. And in the last, I would like to thank Dr. O.P. Agrawal, our Honorable Chairman, sir, Dr. Nima Agrawal, ma'am, Honorable MD, ma'am, and Mr. Raman Batra, our Executive Vice President, for their constant support and encouragement. And in the last, my vote of thanks will never be, you can say, complete without a special thank to Mr. Abhijit, who always takes responsibilities by himself in each event in our institute. We need more young people and we need more young and energetic people like you, sir, in our profession. Thank you again, Abhijit, for taking all the responsibilities given to you by Director Sir and the ICC team. So I again thank you to all the present students and the faculty member who have joined this event. So thank you so much. Over to you, Abhijit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajnish, Mr.
Thank you, ma'am.
Abhijit, and our team of pharmacy for arranging such a brilliant lecture of Dr. Pratibha. And Pratibha, really thank you so much. You have covered the entire portion of research writing so nicely, and I think it will be helpful for us also and our juniors and students also. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am,
you,
for
ma'am.
providing me this
Thank you, ma'am.
opportunity. And you always have been the source of inspiration for us, ma'am.
Thank you.
You are really a true researcher, we can say. So you are the best inspiration. No one else can have better than you. So this is
Actually, research is a long way to go.
Yes,
There is no end of research. That's the thing. You will have to just move and move in that on that path. That's the thing. Thank you.
Definitely, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Pratibha, ma'am. I have shared the feedback link in the chat box, and I also shared the feedback link in our WhatsApp group. So we are really thankful to all of you for joining and spending the time with us. I hope this webinar will be beneficial to you in your research and in your publication. So thank you all of you for joining. The link is available in the chat, also in your screen. That is feedback form, and also available in your WhatsApp group. So we may meet in our next webinar very soon. So thank you all of you. God bless you all. All the best.
Thank you so much.